Hey guys, Finally Sleeps here. Let's talk about the upcoming Retro Stars program. What we know, what we don't know, and kind of basics on how to play it. First, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Also, don't forget finallysleeps.com, where I post daily on all things FIFA Mobile and a lot of other stuff that's way off topic, a lot of brain vomit. Just check it out, you'll see. I know I've been a lot of hit or miss the last couple of weeks, but I've been busy grinding away at Treasure Hunt ever since I got back from my trip. Also, the game's been pretty damn boring lately, and there hasn't been much to talk about. You watch ads, you run shooting scenarios, you open treasure chests, and then you just repeat that shit day in and day out like it's Groundhog Day for a month. That's all we've had in FIFA Mobile, and it pretty much sucks. The bear market we're dealing with because of Groundhog Day FIFA Mobile is fantastic. I don't know. And hopefully you've taken full advantage of it, but beyond that, FIFA Mobile has been nothing more than an advertiser cash grab for way too long. We're ready for something new. We're ready for the market to finally recover. And instead of something new, EA is just rehashing old stuff. Say hello to Retro Stars. This is a summer staple for FIFA Mobile, but because most of the sport is off-season. Beyond preseason friendlies and transfer rumors, there really isn't much going on in the world of football. Retro Stars is the reintroduction of boosted versions of past program players. Program stuff is like the holiday events, like Freeze, EPL's Boxing Day, Lunar New Year, Carnival, St. Patty's Day, and Easter. Right now, all we know is from the teaser info that EA released earlier today, and I'm kind of excited. Although we do not have any screenshots yet, from the contextual descriptions, it looks like it's going to be based on some 80s video games, a la Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Bros. There's lots of talk about dungeons, hearts, one-ups, bosses, keys. Even without screenshots, you should be able to get a pretty good idea of what the theme is going to be. It's not going to be a grinding event. It looks like it's returning to the old way of doing things. Retro Stars should be a 12-hour reset, and every 12 hours you'll need to run through whatever hoops EA sets up to gather up to 14 dungeon keys, is what we're being told, and the possibility of a one-up token. Right now, we don't know how you'll be earning these dungeon keys, but you can pretty safely assume it's going to be a combination of watching a video, playing some skill games, probably a match or two, and then some verses, like we've seen on all of the events so far this year. These dungeon keys are what you'll need to actually play the event. Each past program will have a themed dungeon that you need to play through in order to unlock the chance at players and ultimately boss keys that you can trade in on legendary players and maybe a prime icon. EA has been pretty vague so far, but it's likely that the dungeon keys will be dungeon specific. That's what they've done in the past, meaning there will be an Easter dungeon key, and Carnival dungeon key, and a Freeze dungeon key. You get the idea. It's not just going to be one generic dungeon key. Each dungeon is broken down into 11 doors, plus a key to start the dungeon. Now, as you move forward through the dungeon, doors require more than one key, which means to get to the end of the dungeon, it's going to require a minimum of 28 keys. When you enter a dungeon, you'll be given 3 hearts. If you fail a skill game or a match, and those alternate, you lose one of your hearts. If you lose all 3 of your hearts, the dungeon locks until you either use a 1-up token or, I quote, flee the dungeon. I'm not quite sure what fleeing a dungeon entails, but it probably is just starting over at the beginning with a new dungeon key instead of using a 1-up. If you're lucky enough to get all the way through the last skill game to the mini-boss match, and you successfully win it, you'll be awarded with a boss key and the chance at a mini-boss player, which is a Retro Stars player rated 90 to 97 for the program associated with that dungeon. We'll look at the players in a minute. The dungeons are Frozen Peak for the Freeze event, Boxing Day Bash for the Premier League Boxing Day event, Carnival Caverns for, well, you're kind of seeing where this is going, Lunar Land for Lunar New Year, Rainbow Road for St. Patrick's Day, and Bunny Bop Meadows for Easter. The boss keys are the key to this event. In the Boss Rush chapter, you'll be able to trade in those boss keys for players, boost, rank tokens, coins, and more. It looks like you'll need to hold on to your keys for quite a while to obtain anything really good, though. Even if you're a beast at this game and you can unlock and complete a dungeon for a boss key every 2 resets, it'll take you over a month to get a legendary 100, and right now we don't even know how long this event's going to last. Note that EA is calling for a mini boss slot and a mini boss super slot in their chart too. What the hell those are, I have no idea. We'll just have to wait and see until the event is released. Also at the bottom of the list are 2 Prime icons. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, these would be great additions to your team. Since the Prime icons aren't auctionable though, and I refuse to put icons into my squad on principle alone, I'm not even worried about how far out of range these are probably going to be for the free-to-play player. Now the list of players looks pretty fantabulous too. We are still waiting to see what some of these players bring to the table as far as their stats go, but there are more than a few players in this list that should be going for some major coins in the market once this event is released. Pay attention, a lot of these guys are being released in multiple skill boosts too, which can help for somebody who's building a specific team based on a type of skill boost or specific skill boosts in general. Gathering high coin players is pretty much what Retro Stars is all about. The only tip that I can offer is to hold on to your boss keys. Wait until the late into the event, towards the end, and just to see how high you can go on that list of players. Right now, I can't even suggest whether it's going to be worth it to waste gems on this event. My gut is saying no. I'm pumped. This should be a fun change of pace after dealing with the treasure hunt for all of July. But more importantly, since this is a token-based event where you have to work to earn players instead of just grinding for player drops, the market has a really good chance of recovering from the slump it's in, and that's what most of us are waiting for. Especially if you have a couple thousand players to sell like me, and half of those are parked in your dismissals, and you're tired of looking at that inbox full of stuff you have to scroll through if you do try to sell something. Just saying. Now, as far as the market goes, we're starting to see it recover already just with the announcement of Retro Stars, which is a fantastic turn of events. Silvers, you've been able to buy them for under 1,000 coins. If you're smart and you've been stockpiling like I suggested, some of those are starting to turn around already. We're seeing silvers that were bought a week or two ago for under 1,000 coins going now for well over 100,000. Many of us investors who have been paying attention to this and seeing as those prices start to jump are now selling those and then turning that coin profit right back into either more silvers, or we're buying low-level elites or low-level master players. The other thing you need to think about right before Treasure Hunt ends, while the getting is still good, is to make sure you have all of the players in your reserve set up to rank your players across all positions, at least to rank 3. If you see back through this event that we're talking about, Retro Stars, there's going to be a lot more rank tokens available. Taking your team up to rank 3, all 11 positions, or 13, 14 positions if you're running multiple formations. Like if you have a 4-3-3 attack where there's no CDM and then you're running a different formation with a CDM, now's the time to get all those players ready. Make sure you buy or pack the players you need. So you've got 90s, 94s, and 97s in all tiers of the field, including goalkeeper. Because once this event ends and the market does shift, which we expect it to do, those players, 90, 94, and 97, are going to go through the roof. Because people are going to need them, and they don't have the means to get them really quick. So I don't know how soon this video is going to post for everybody to see, but now's the time to grab them. Because trust me, when the market shifts, those are the ones that are going to see the big jump really quick. And if you've been paying attention and buying players in that range, you're already seeing them start to go up in the last 4 to 5 days. So be prepared. The market shift is coming. Hopefully you had the patience to hold out and you didn't start unloading players because you thought you were losing coins. Trust me, it's going to get good. Retro Stars. Getting ready to put on some Buckner and Garcia, pound a few Joel Colas, and maybe even fillet a cartridge or two. Confused? It's the 80s, people. Google it. That's it. Now we just wait and see. As long as you keep watching, I'll keep making videos. Thanks for watching. Maybe check out one of these other videos next. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Visit my site, finallyhesleeps.com, for daily posts about FIFA Mobile and other various brain vomit. Plus, if you get really bored, you can find merchandise and my latest comedy album, Life Before the Internet, at the links below. Like, down at the bottom, those links.